But if you're in Kampala city, you know that KCCA from the last week rolled out a new policy of making sure the streets are void of vendors, illegal border stages, illegal taxi stages and parking spaces, and they say they want to create order within the city. And this morning I'm very privileged to host people that are actually in the field making sure this policy is executed well, making sure that you don't have vendors in the walkways, you don't have border stages on pavements, you don't have taxis parked where they're not supposed to be parking, and they're here to share with us how actually the mission is moving, how this policy is going on ground, and certainly what we should expect going forward from the KCCA, and more precisely for the image of Kampala City. And in that I have Mr. Bale Wilson. Mr. Bale is an enforcement officer with the Kampala Capital City Authority. Mr. Bale, good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. And I also expect to be joined by ASP Matov Kasim, who is the manager at Enforcement, Kampala Capital Authority, to have this conversation together, and certainly for them to share with us how it is moving so far and what we should be looking at for the future. In that same spirit, because you see this city that we talk about is a city for me, you, and everyone that has interest in this beautiful country, Uganda. Mr. Bale, I want us to start here. Effective last week, to be precise, 19th, you started the enforcement directive by the minister to make sure you don't have vendors on the streets, to make sure you don't have borders where they are not supposed to be, to make sure you don't have taxis parking in the roads and in spaces they're not supposed to be in. Take me down there. How is the situation like as we speak?
Yeah, thank you, sir. The question you've given, the reality is evident down there, and the feedback from the people can clearly give us the definition of what is in downtown.
You seem very happy about this, and please.
Very, very happy because first and foremost, I want to begin by thanking the people of Kampala, not only the people of Kampala but the people of Uganda for the unexpected compliance that we have seen in this campaign and in this drive. Actually, we thought we are going to have a lot of resistance from the city dwellers, especially the people we are targeting to enforce on. In particular, those are the vendors, the hawkers, the taxi operators, the border riders, but there is some bit of compliance, and we are pleased as the KCCA because we are seeing sanity is coming back in the city. People are moving freely, and no one is raising a hand or is saying, you people, this is not good. Everybody is very appreciative and everyone is shaking vertically. That's what I can say.
Wow, that's interesting to learn. And you talk about compliance, and you also state that maybe you expected a bit of resistance. You see, these are residents of Kampala. These are people that come to Kampala to make money. These are people who have interests in Kampala.
Exactly.
To begin with, you had people working every day on the streets.
Yes.
And they complied to leave. Two questions. What do you think is driving this compliance? Is it for the love of Kampala, or they are just scared of what you have actually prepared for them, that they don't want to face it?
Well, both questions are good, and the responses you've given may all be correct. But one, KCC as an institution has got a word authority at the end, Kampala Capital City Authority. So when KCC comes out and makes a directive, for example, it was given out by the Minister for Kampala, whoever is a responsible citizen and a law-abiding citizen feels like, no, I must obey what the directive has said. On second, most of these people you see downtown selling things on the streets, operating in different areas, the ones we call illegal areas. They have their their base areas, like where they came from. And majority, when we tried it during the time of sensitization, talking to them, interacting with them, they're saying, you people, I'm just waiting for your time. When you come, I've already secured a place. I'm going to this market. I've already got a shop. I've already got where to go, like where I stay in Kabusu. I've already got a place where I'm going to begin now operating my business from. So majority had their origin, and they were willing to go back and occupy those areas.
And you see, that is really interesting, especially because that was my next question, and it was to the effect that, okay, they have complied and they are off the streets, but is KCCA even aware of where they went? And what are they doing? If this was their daily meal, I come to the street to sell a few things so that I get money to buy food. If I'm no longer on the street, where am I and what am I eating?
Yeah. We've been actually this has been a planned operation, and we gave ourselves time. We had several engagements with these people, because they're the people of Kampala, they are the citizens of Uganda, so they are the people who make Uganda what it is. So we considered them, we considered their well-being. After we have removed them from the streets, where are they going? Now, because most of these people, as we have been observing, when it came towards Christmas or towards the political season, many of these people were forced to leave their shops, and they put the merchandise on the road. So for us, we knew very well that after this campaign, or after once we come on ground for enforcement, they're going to take back their merchandise in their shops. Others leave markets, and they say, we are not seeing customers, so we are coming to have a bigger client shed. They expect to have many customers.
And you see, that was my next question to you, because you talk about this so beautifully, that they had where they came from, they had the markets, some of them had the shops, they had places of origin. And I want to critically understand, okay, if they had these locations, what keeps them wanting to be on the street, where they know, like you mentioned, in these illegal areas, you're not supposed to be trading from here, your border should not be here, your taxi should not be here. What invites them to come and be in those illegal areas?
Thank you. It's a very good question. But according to the nature of the people in Uganda, it is a fact of convenience. Normally people like that convenience. Climbing stairs, moving through the buildings. So a person finds it very convenient and very accessible. Like if you find someone selling something at his, at his door, maybe at where he's passing, he finds a lot of ease buying from that person than entering into the market. What? So it is the culture that KCCA buy things from the markets. Still buy things from our arcades can be bought. Yeah, we are trying to develop the culture. So that culture is what we are building the people. Culture is what we are building the people. Since the markets have been organized, they have been put in place. Whatever anybody would wish to have is there. Whatever anybody would wish to have is there in our shopping malls, in our very happy. They are in
that image of what the ground looks like currently. And more important, Matov Kasim is the manager enforcement at the Kampala Capital City Authority. Afande, but also extensively the taxis that park in areas where they're not supposed to be parking. And before I even take you to the specifics of which border stage or taxi or which vendor is where. I want to hear from you from that strategy. What are you executing? And again, at a strategic level, do you think it is a plan that is achievable for Kampala?
Well, thank you so much. Allow me first thank you for hosting us here today to be able to speak to the people of Kampala. And yes, when you reflect on the last few months, that has been what has been happening in the city, the congestion, and then you build on what has been happening the last 2 to 3 days. You know, the silent prayers of the people of Kampala as they pass you. They don't know who you are. You may be in civilian, you may be in intelligence form, but the silent prayers communicates that really there has been an issue. So that's where our mission now is derived, that we need to create an order in the city. Why? To ensure that the city is a livable city. And one of the key values in our mission, we have 4 key terms: a livable, attractive, sustainable. Because that's your second question. Is this sustainable? We must be able to do everything that we're able to be sustained, but even the non-human resources that build the economy of this country. The taxis, the borders, the traders, the merchandise. So this is our greatest mission. And yes, are we able to sustain it? Planning is always key. I think whenever you plan and you plan only achieve your mission and don't plan to sustain it, makes it to be challenging. But now I think we've laid strategies that we're trying to build on to ensure that there is sustainable dominance of our markets, that there is sustainable reintegration of the people in the markets and other spaces, as you made mention, because the markets may not be enough. And then we also want to be appreciative that the city has a mileage, an acreage, and this is not expanding. The Matthew theory of population is very clear that why you have challenges is that people forget that you may have a plot of land 100 by 50 feet, and then you're producing 50 children. Is that land enough for these children? It's never enough. So that's why we now call for diversification. Can other avenues be available, other alternatives? We have markets in other cities other than Kampala. We have markets in other municipalities. We also have alternative trade mechanisms. For example, we are now here on TV. A few years back, people were not having this infrastructure, this online trade. How are we able as a community to open up interventions where we are skilling people in online trading, how to use it effectively, free of charge, to skill our youth. Then number 2, we also have different interventions that come through. Contracts are done. People are building roads infrastructure. People are building different projects are ongoing. Now, how do we integrate these youth who have been thinking that only the street is the only avenue for them to survive? And then trade zoning. Initially, we hadn't been zoning these trade zones. We only had one trade zone, which is the markets. Now there is also they are having a review of how to introduce effective Sunday markets. I think all of us have gone through where we've been having a thought of a scenery of let me use the Luganda word of Tarebo Mubulu, those open markets that move. You always see these lorries carrying ladies with their merchandise
on top.
Yes, because it's Friday. So those open markets are also trade zonings. Now in Kampala we didn't have these zonings. Now there is a team that is reviewing on how to introduce these trade zones where you can have the Sunday markets, where you can have sometimes the evening markets that at such a point, say from 5 to this time, people are free to be here. When you travel even to what you call civilized countries, you hear what they call China markets. If I'm in Dubai and I say I'm going to China market, they mean that place where you have the congested traders have laid their goods down, but you're able to achieve to get your goods free is because one of the greatest challenges here we have is our Ugandans are lazy.
Well, at that very point of laziness, thank you so much, Afande, for that account of what, most importantly, what the mission looks like. And we discuss that more in the second bit of issues at hand here on Church of Uganda Family TV. But for now, we head into a very short break. Do stay with us.
Issues at hand. Issues at hand.
Welcome back from that very, very short break. It is Issues at Hand here in Church of Uganda Family TV, and we're having a conversation about our city, our Kampala city, the drive against illegal stages and street vending. And in studios today, I'm privileged to have Superintendent of Police Matovu Kasim, who is the Manager Enforcement at the Kampala Capital City Authority, but I also have Mr. Bale Wilson, who is an Enforcement Officer with the Kampala Capital City Authority, and this morning they are sharing with us the journey into the execution of this policy, of the mission, what it actually means for them as officers, but also for the city, and going forward, the sustainability plan. And we have had a smooth conversation in the first bit of this. And Mr. Bale, look here, the scope of this mission that Afande has just unfolded for us, and you talked about a little earlier. We have people that put their merchandise on the ground. We have people that put their merchandise on doors of shops. We have people that put their merchandise on wheelbarrows, and they are pushing through the city. We have those on motorcycles, bicycles, everywhere. We even have people that they have mobile restaurants. They are selling food, but just they keep moving. Maybe they have food in there. Which people specifically are you looking at? Are you looking at everyone that does not have a shop? Oh, because I've even had complaints from persons that own shops that actually you've come out to them to say, yes, this is your shop, but make sure your goods do not go beyond this point in this person's shop. And people are saying, wait a minute, was this about vendors, or is it about making life difficult for everyone? Whom are you targeting?
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's a very good question. Mm-hmm. But to you, all our viewers and the people of Kampala, this is what we want to let you know and understand. What we are doing, the campaign we are having now is trade order. We are not saying that people should not. We are not here to make people suffer or people regret why they started the businesses. Mm-hmm. We are here to support. As KCCA, we are here to support business owners that they transact their business at their convenience. Most of these people you've seen, like you've had complaining that we have left there. I mean, instead of concentrating on the vendors, but we have also gone ahead to inconvenience those who already have their shops. There was a culture that had developed in most of these people owning shops of putting some extensions that are going beyond where they are supposed to stop, like the walkways. Someone brings a wire mesh, someone brings some metallic bars and places them actually where even the customers are supposed to pass to reach that shop, and that is where the person has put the pallets, and you find the whole place is congested. So in this program of creating and restoring trade order in the city, we are saying, let us have sense, let us have sanity, let us have clear walkways, let us have, let everybody whoever is doing business, whoever is carrying out trade, do it in the right way. Actually, KCC is there to protect business owners. We are not, even these vendors you talked about, we are not against vending, but vending in a gazetted place, vending in an organized area. Because what we are doing actually down there, we are promoting organized trade. If it is a market, because even in the market, we have seen those who are doing away with the trade in the market. So we also go we take an extra mile to reach these markets and organize the vendors there. So please, if this is your stall, let the merchandise stop here. You're not supposed to go beyond here. This is where now the person who is coming to buy from you is supposed to stand and then make an order. This is where the person who has come with the vehicle is supposed to park his vehicle and then accesses your stall. So we are trying to create order.
And you see, one of the things that come with that is the concept of space, because you are taking people to the market. I remember when KCC, when the Honorable Chofa Togabekawe was making this announcement, he did say that KCC has about, I think, 2,509 spaces in public markets and about 1,800 or 900 in private markets. And that cannot be the number of vendors that have been on the streets. It's certainly more than that. So
True.
If we are to have these taken into the market spaces, and we have these ones that cannot fit there, and Afande, you talked about reintegration. Does KCC have a plan? Are you creating new markets for them? Are you telling them, please go to the village and try some farming? What is the plan?
Yeah, thank you. KCCA in this drive, actually, just the way you've said, we are not sending these people to the villages. We are not sending them, everyone to the market, because not everyone can fit there. We have seen people on the streets who are regarded as vendors, but the capital the person is having cannot even fit in a shop of 15 by 15, but someone is on the street selling. So some of these people have the capacity to have shops, and many of them we have moved around. As I told you, we have not just chased away these people and just concentrated on our own things. We are making a clear follow-up on these people. Where have they gone? Some of them we have seen them, we have found them now settled in the shops, because Kampala has got very many shops that have been vacant. New buildings are coming up, and they needed to say, since the KCC is not so hard on vendors, let me also. These people have gone back, and they have gone back to those there.
Bus parks are bringing in people, taxi parks are bringing in people. Understandably, there are even those that walk to Kampala. And you did speak about trade zoning, you did speak about maybe thinking about alternatives for these people. One of the challenges Kampala faces is land. To begin with, KCCA does not own a lot of land in Kampala. Secondly, much of the land, we have land that is owned privately by individuals, we have land that is owned by the Kingdom of Uganda and the various land owners. And I'm looking at, okay, if we have to, for example, create new market centers for these people, because you mentioned you would want to create markets, those are either Sunday markets, the likeness of those that happen up country. And I'm thinking, does KCCA have a plan of acquiring land to make sure they resettle people and make sure they have space where to operate from? But secondly, managing the numbers, because whoever is doing their job wherever they are, there is a likeliness of, if I fail at my job at place A, then I will go and try trade. If I fail if I'm a police officer and sectors and are getting into business. Has KCCA looked into this, and do we have a plan that can deliver sustainability in this angle?
Yes, thank you. That same line, that the way you pose the question itself is, we have established markets, and people have moved out of the markets and went on streets because they believe that there is more competition by the roadsides. And during this operation, the reintegration, actually in our reports, every day we try to make a summary of how many, we're not even calling them returnees, not new occupants of the stores in the markets. We're asking, are you a returnee or a new client? And we have a very big number of returnees who've been able to go back in these markets.
Wow.
Over the 2,520 spaces that were in the markets that are free in the KCCA markets, the public markets. And then we believe that this economy is not only a public sector economy, it is a private public sector economy, where we also have over 69 private markets. Yes, you would find that, yes, we have an integration of one area market, which is government, but you also have nearby in Nankulabi, a private market. You'll have a market in Natete of a private ownership also. So over 69 have availed us spaces in their markets. Then, like you made mention that Kampala, KCCA may have limited land in the city. That's why we went out and sent teams and worked with Ministry of Local Government to identify that government is putting in resources in ensuring that different markets are built across the cities and municipalities around this country. And then, yes, when you go down and profile, everyone who is there has come from somewhere. Like you made mention, people are coming. Everyone who is there has come from somewhere. Like you made mention, people are coming in from buses that bring people from West Nile to Kampala, bring buses people from Mbarara, bring people from Muchiwoga. And yes, government has also built markets in those districts.
I remember, and permit me say this, when the president recently was undertaking what he called parish development model tours around the country just before the elections, he made a stopover at Busega Market.
Yes.
And a series of complaints were raised by the people that operate in that area, including that there was no road that accesses the market, including the fact that the market was too far from where the customers come from, therefore they could not go there, which meant they are locked up in that very big building put up by government, but according to them, government did not plan so well for them, therefore they cannot do business from there, and continuously they've been abandoning that market. Has KCCA thought about a solution for those challenges, especially in the markets that are already established, and what does that look like?
Yes, indeed. In these operations that we're having, allow me first to appreciate our people of Kampala. Why you see that this operation has been different from the other operations? It has been a very peaceful, because there's immense voluntary compliance. Why? Because we are engaging everyone. We are not coming to say that we are enforcing. No, our three key principles are the triple E's. We first educate. We first engage. So we as KCCA, we've been able to engage different stakeholders, even the vendors themselves in the respective markets. What are the concerns? Why do people move out and go out on the roads? And what are your possible local solutions that you may provide? Even if it's the taxis, we're not just coming and say, please leave the road. Because there are some taxi stages which have been on the road for over 20 years. But where it is not gazetted. So we've been engaging the leadership. What are the local solutions? Why do you think these taxis don't want to be in the parks and they're on the roadside? So and they give us their feedback. And public feedback is key. You cannot, even if it is in operations, you cannot work without intelligence. You can't work without information. That's why when we get their feedback, it has been helping us to really create avenues, our interventions, to see that we are able to create a moderate working environment for them. Yes, and that's why you see even when the president was approached at Usega, he also made a commitment and tasked the KCC to ensure that we were able to avail what they were requesting to create the environment more conducive for them to operate in. And that's why you see that most of them are actually cooperating, complying. Why? Because as they give us the feedback, they see we are acting.
Oh, sure. So that has built confidence, certainly, between you and the traders. Wilson, again, something comes up in this whole operation. The merchandise, the items that are confiscated from vendors that are found on the streets, and the shop operators that are not working according to your regulations. I have oftenly heard that this is either taken by KCC enforcement team members and they share it amongst themselves. Some of them, if you have a bit of cash on you, are able to go and pay for your merchandise and they return it to you. What happens to these goods that you take from traders?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Fib. It's a good question, and the public is always interested in the to the public. This is what happens, as Mr. Kasuma has stated. Whenever we call out an operation, we plan for it before we get into it. As KCCA, we don't go out to the field to enforce anything without making a plan. We planned for this. We planned for the impounded items and everything. Well, as he has said, it has been a peaceful exercise so far, ever since we started. We have not carved out much impounding. The few things we have picked from those areas that we cited to create sanity and order, we've got a store in Nakawa. It is our store, KCCA. That's where we take everything that we pick. That idea and the mindset of the people of Kampala that when we pick the things as enforcement, we take it as a celebration and then we begin sharing everything amongst ourselves. It's not true. It's not true. We are very professional people. Actually, the enforcement we have today is so professional. A lot of engagements, a lot of training has been done to put up professionalism while executing their work and executing our work. So when we take these merchandise, when they reach the stores, they are recorded, and it doesn't stop there. Because once KCC gets something from you, it does not cease from being yours. Because these people are committing, they are breaking the laws, but these are commercial laws. We don't regard this.
There has been fears of linked to security. People have been saying you have criminals that hide among these vendors, and they do acts that are not good to citizens of Kampala. But even after this now, the fear is the people that have been sent away from the streets might turn into criminals.
Yes.
You are a police officer. What plan is there to make sure these Kampala people even in the outskirts are safe? Because you have people that are unemployed now.
Yes, true. Thank you, Philip. Yes, true. When you have numbers, when you have increase in population, there are very many threats that come by the congestion. And true, there have been pockets of criminality in some areas of the city because of the congestion. And as we drive people out of where they were operating from, we anticipate such. That is why we have one partner with the statutory agencies. Number one, we are now making joint patrols with the Uganda Police Force and the UPDF. We support with other agencies of intelligence. This program is not only on trade order now. We have twinned now with the assessment of intelligence. That where people have been having issues with security, we now anticipate a bigger threat. So we are now ensuring that we're able to jointly patrol these areas and be able to map them and know where has the population now moved to, what are the anticipated threats there, and how do we police those areas. That is number one. And number two, we are trying, as the government is going to also building on the intervention like PDM and other programs. We want to continue engaging the youth to ensure that we're able to skill them and able to empower them economically and empower them with different qualifications that make them stronger and be able to reach. Like you are saying, the integration of the ghetto youth. Yes, everyone at the time we used to think that you can never have an organized ghetto youth. But now you see with these interventions, they have now clear structures, they have empowerment. I would have come with something here where I bought a lamp from a ghetto youth, but how was he skilled? And he says, now I'm comfortable, I'm not too much in Dinjaga now, I'm thinking about empowering myself.
Oh, interesting success story. And very quickly, Wilson, the borders, it's one of the challenging areas in the city, and I'm asking the capacity of KCCA to tackle the border challenge. These are persons who most of the times they do not respect traffic rules, but what eases this is the fact that they can easily move. So if they will park here, and if they realize KCCA is closed, they just drive away very quickly and you can't get to them. What is the possibility of you making sure there is order in the border sector?
Yeah, thank you, Philip. In a very brief response I can give, as I told you, with this exercise, since we planned for it, engagements are ongoing with the different groups of these borders, because they have their different groups. Actually, the whole of this week, beginning with today, we are going to have several engagements with them to plan, because there are certain things that we have to say this should stop.
Sure.
Yeah, to create order in the city. They have been left. It has been a sector that has been left here to everyone to do whatever he feels like. But as KCCA, we have planned for this. So we are having engagements of how we are going to begin with their leaders, and then come to the stages. Because even the stages we talk about, the gazetted stages, they are not enough to accommodate the number of border riders that are in Kampala.
True.
So we may re-regulate and re-gazette the gazetted stages to see that at least there is order. So we are having engagements with them, and we are going to make sure that we reach the desired goal for a better city.
All right, thank you. And Afande, lastly to you, in a minute or two, what are the indicators of success for these operations you're undertaking?
As I said, enforcement areas, and those targeted enforcement areas have been successfully policed, and we've achieved. So I believe now that we are moving from, because those were the high risk zones, now we are moving to the low risk zones. We want to make Kampala a whole low risk zone where we have no area of concentration that we have issues here. For example, when you go now to Kalere Market, you'll be able to say, yeah, this is what a city should be. Now, so as we are transiting from the high risk zones to the low risk zones, with the minimal resistance, I believe it is a key. Those are the key indicators that really this operation is going to be successful.
All right.
But greatly is to thank the community of Kampala, the traders, the vendors, every actor in this economy, that because they have accepted to work with us. No one is saying, you do your things, Biamwe. No, everyone is saying, this is our city. We need to work together as a what? As a community. And that is a very key issue for the success of this operation.
All right, very beautiful conversation there, and very interesting, but unfortunately time is very much fast spent. We have to think about getting out of here, but key to note out of here is that Kampala should transit from a high risk zone to a low risk zone, and certainly get to normalcy and look like a capital city like any other capital city that we have in the world. SP Matov Kasim, thank you so much for your thoughts and for joining us this morning. And Mr. Bale Wilson, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning. And you, our amazing viewers, thank you so much for keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV, and for joining us for this edition of Issues at Hand in this beautiful morning of 23rd February 2026. Please stay with us for more of our programming as we continue to enrich lives in this country, but also across the borders of Uganda. My name is Philip Mulisa, and may you all have a great, blessed day ahead.
Issues at Hand